People of African heritage find the royal tour of Kenya to be more offensive than charming, as British tabloids are branding it. People of colour make up 70% of the Commonwealth, yet Prince Archie and Princess Lily, Diana's brown faces, are unwelcomed in the royal family by Prince Charles. Representation matters. They see no reason to celebrate the ascension of King Charles, whose mother's leadership, and that of her predecessors, perpetuated the greatest human rights tragedy in the history of humankind. British royals own most fertile land in Kenya. It's no secret that King Charles' son Prince William is biggest landowner in Kenya. Many Kenyans still resent the British colonists who once ruled them, an attitude their schools encourage. The colonists built the natives of their choice land and ruthlessly suppressed the Mau Mau Rebellion, a land-related insurgency waged against them in the 1950s. Agriculture is the main source of wealth in Kenya, and anyone without land is poor. Laikipia Plateau is estimated to be about 10,000 square kilometres or roughly 2.5 million acres. It has the biggest number of white landowners concentrated in one place in Kenya. The plateau stretches from Met Kenya in the east to the Rift Valley in the west. This land was acquired under the brutality of colonialization, which killed over 20 million Africans and counting. The Maasai community in Laikipia numbers less than 50,000. They are squashed on different patches of the land, which totals 281,587 acres. The rest, more than 2 million acres, is owned by British royals and their cronies. You've probably heard of the Craig family. The Prince of Wales and future King of England ex-girlfriend Jecca Craig's family owns Lewa Downs, which is comprised of over 45,000 acres. They are one of the biggest landowners in Kenya's most fertile land. The family never bought the land or compensated the original owners for it. The land has been in the family since 1918. Reports out of Kenya indicate that Ian Craig's great-grandmother was awarded the land by the British government for her services during the First World War. What exactly were those services that a white British performed in Africa for the Crown? These are allegedly the benefits of committing human rights abuses against Africans. The Craigs use the fertile for wildlife conservation. A small part has livestock. The British Army has a training base on the farm, which has led others to believe that the land actually belongs to Prince William and the Craigs are just custodians. Pay reparations for slavery and colonization. The wealth of Britain was built on the back of colonies. Museums are filled with colonial art and diamonds. After all, the British royal family has a net worth of $88 billion according to Forbes. Ethnic people are common, and Windsors have all the wealth. The Talai say the British government has declined to recognise the suffering of its members during the colonial era. A group of more than 100,000 Kenyans from the Talai clan has written to Prince William to seek an apology and his support for reparations for human rights abuses they suffered during the British colonial settlement. A UN inquiry determined that gross human rights violations were committed particularly against the clan, including unlawful killing, sexual violence, torture, and arbitrary detention and displacement. 5 UN special rapporteurs then wrote to the British government regarding public apologies, reparations and remedy. In response, the UK said it had already issued a public apology and settlement in 2013 of claims made by Kenyans who lived through the emergency period and the Mau Mau insurgency from 1952 to 1963 when Kenya gained independence. The clan says its members were forcefully evicted from fertile land in the highlands of the Rift Valley to pave the way for tea plantations, some of which still exist and are owned by UK-based multinationals. The Talai held a leadership role among the Kipsigis ethnic group in Kenya and led the resistance against European settlement. To quash it, every member of the Talai clan was forcefully moved to detention in a tsetse fly and mosquito-infested valley near present-day Lake Victoria. The conditions there are recorded to have been so harsh that many of them died and women suffered miscarriages. They also lost their livestock in large numbers. When Kenya gained independence in 1963, the survivors left detention and returned to what they considered their ancestral land. But they never recovered it. They say they've lived alongside the tea estates as squatters ever since. Colonialism and slavery are crimes against humanity that destroyed millions of African lives, robbed them of God-given dignity. History.com reports that the Treaty of Versailles didn't just blame Germany for the war, it demanded financial restitution for the whole thing, to the tune of 132 billion gold marks, or more than $500 billion today. Land grievances remain a powerful undercurrent in Kenyan politics today. At independence in 1963, the departing British set aside money to buy back land in the White Highlands, which had been reserved for British citizens under colonialism. They were supposed to redistribute it among original African owners. Kenya's first president, Jomo Kenyatta, let foreign companies own big tea and coffee plantations, so long as him as his cronies got seats on the board and a share of the profits. The colonists had turned tea and coffee into mainstays of the economy. Kenyatta thought it was too risky to hand over all the big estates to Africans. Stop colonial tours. Over a year ago, King Charles III's son William and Kate's visit to Jamaica was designed to strengthen the monarchy's links to the Caribbean. Instead, Jamaicans demanded apologies for colonial crimes, reparations for colonial atrocities, and campaign to make the country a republic. William the Colonizer is the name William has been given across the Commonwealth. His own father, Prince Charles, refused to be carried like a colonizer when he visited Tuvalu. William was very comfortable taking the colonizer position. This is the 21st century. William must apologize for this colonizer behavior. Don't miss this eye-opening expose that questions the very foundation of the royal wealth and their vast land ownership in Kenya and across Africa, and the influence of plenty of wealth stolen from Africa by the royals. Support our work by giving a super thanks, super chat, or subscribing to our channel. Subscribe now, hit the bell icon, and make sure to like, comment, and share this video to spread the truth.